Yeah. Okay. Since this lab also calls for us to learn how to use revolve, and we didn't really get to that. Nobody got to that in lab. I want to make sure that you guys at least have an example of how to use it, so you don't go home and struggle and be like, "Oh my God, how do I do revolve? This dude never taught me. My bad. Didn't have time." Okay. Anyways, which one should we do? 3.2 or 3.3? Let's do this one. Okay. This one. So, how do we do revolve? Let's review. Okay, so let's review really quick. Ba, 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 ba. Revolve bases. So revolve bases. What does this do? It rotates our sketch along an axis to create a solid body, right? What do we need? All we need is the line that we're going to revolve around, and our sketch that we're going to revolve, right? Very good for circular parts, as you can see. Lab 3.2 is a circular part. Perfect. And we control the rotation, total rotation, right? We don't have to go through full 360. We can do 270 if we want, right? And then always have your center line and work your center line from the origin. Oh, pretty good tip. All right, let's see. So this lab, so my tips, right? Base your axis of revolution on your origin, which is this center line going across, right? Sketch that first. Okay, focus on the cut portion sketch, which is this part, right? The section with the cross lines. That is your section sketch, which when you see the ching 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 lines, that means that that is where actual build material is. And if it's hollow, that means you have a gap or a hole, right? And then for this lab particularly, we will be leaving out or cutting out 1/4 of the total part, right? So let's say from here, right? This is hollow, right? No cross line. So I know that this is gonna be this whole region, right? This section right here, hollow. Why? Because if we look at our part, see this line with the arrow? This is what we call our section view guide. So when we do get a section view, we can see exactly where that face is supposed to lie, right? So we see that the arrows is pointing to the left. That means we are reviewing it from that direction, which means our eyes go this direction, right? So we rotate it. This is the face you see, which is this face, right? So essentially what we're gonna do, we're gonna draw our middle line because this is where we're rotating on. We're gonna use that, a center line. Then all we're gonna do is focus on drawing is this portion right here. So let's get started. Sketch, sketch. All right, it's important. So our front face should be this, right? This is our front face. So if we're drawing this portion, we should be drawing on our ding 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 right plane. So draw on the right plane. Now remember, center line. Use that. Start that first. Good job. Now this is gonna be our axis that we're gonna revolve around, right? So we're gonna draw up here and we're gonna spin it, go doom 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 doom, right? So we wanna look at it from this direction, the front. We're spinning it this way, doom doom doom, and it'll be perfectly round. Amazing. So again, what do I like to do? I personally just like to draw the general shape of what I need, right? Then I'll define it from there. So let's do that first. I'm gonna draw the general shape. So we have here, straight line. It goes up, goes that way, goes up. And remember, because there's a hole, we're not going to take into account to the hole. We're basically going to view this as a perfectly solid part. That lines up. Perfect, right? Nice. So now that we have that, we can start defining it. So what do I want to define first? Um, let's do all of our diameter ones, right? Let's do all that first. We're going to start with 3 inch. Let's start with the total thickness, right? So again, one tip that you guys in lab with the example, right? What we can do again, we're gonna hit this line to the center line, right? Now we can just put the full radius, but the part dimension gives it to us in diameter, right? Diameter 3 inches, diameter 2.75, and diameter 1 inch. Now, my brain's a little slow sometimes, so sometimes I don't want to do the math, right? So what can I do? I can drag it over the center line and see how it doubles. 5.33 10.6, 7, right? It doubled, right? So this is doing radius. If I drag it over, now I can just input the full diameter, which is 3, right? And do it for the same one. Go in here from outer edge. I know that was 1, right? And then up here to there, I know it was 2.75. Slay. Okay, cool. What's next? Boom, boom, boom. Let's do total thickness, right? 1.125, and this one, 1 point, what? 1.375, right? And then set our thickness to 1.25, 1.25, 1.25, right? So we're gonna set all these thicknesses. Mhm, 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 mhm. Our dimension, our dimension, overall length, 1.375, here to here, 1.25. Whoops, that's wrong. 1.125. All right. So now this is kind of getting a little ugly, right? Let's actually fix this up a bit. Put things in the general area that they should be, so it doesn't look super ugly. It'll fix too when I dimension it myself, but why not? I'll help it wherever I can. Oh, also this is wrong. Ooh, see how I misread that? Very important. 1.25 is not from the inner, right? It's from outer. Important. I'm gonna delete this. Delete. Our dimension. Here to here. 1.125. Cool. I know that this is 0.125. Let's just drag things over where they technically should be. And I know that these are the same, so I'm gonna call it equal, right? And are these on the same plane? So I know that these are supposed to be in line, right? So I'm gonna set a relation to make it collinear. What does collinear mean again? It means two lines on the same plane. So if I have line, and I call it collinear, boom. Now it's on the same line. Cool. What am I missing? Uh, drag this back here. Cause this should be from here to here. 0.125. And then I know that this and this should be in line, so I'm gonna call that to be collinear too. Nice. This, let's see, how big should that be? So what's next? How big should this be? If we look at this part here, boom, this would be 2.50. So we know this diameter would be 2.50, right? It might be like, where is that? It's on that screen, on that part. Hmm. Click, click, 2.5. Drag my dimensions out a little bit, clean up my drawing space. Looks good. And how big is the inside? Again, 0.76 through for this circle, right? So now we can define this line because earlier I didn't know what that line was. So that's 0.76. Nice. And then again, I'm gonna drag this out a bit. And I believe that 135, 135. Oh yeah, so right now my whole part's not lined up, right? So I'm gonna click this part at my origin to make it coincident vertically. Whoops, not that, because I hit the point. This one and this line. So the reason why I erred because I hit the center point, the midpoint of my line, and then if I hit the midpoint and origin call it coincident, right, it'll move it all the way down. But since we have these diameter relations, it knows that this line should be that far away. That's why I erred. And now, boom, 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 fully defined, except for here, because this back line and this line should also be collinear. Nice. Play. Okay. So now what are we missing? All we're missing is, as we can see, that this stuff is curved and has a radius. This has right here, all fillets 0.06 radius. So where can we add fillets for the time being? Oops. Okay, got this. Okay, where can we add fillets for the time being? So we know there's gonna be a fillet here. Oh wait, why did I drag the thing away? So we know it's gonna be fillet, 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 fillet. Ooh, that's a lot. What the? I don't remember it being that much. Okay, so the fillet, fillet 0.06. So we know it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, yeah, 7, 8. 8 fillets. I feel like this should be rounded too. Do I want to make that round? Let's quickly look at what did I post. Mm, hmm. Okay, I put fillets in there too. Okay, everything fillet, even in here. Fillet, fillet, fillet. Yes, fillet. Yes. Damn, so I just made all that round? Really? Hmm. I guess I did. Hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, looks like I did. Wait, did I? No, that's a straight edge. Ooh, see, straight edge. Dun, dun. So if we look at our part, right? So this part, zoom in, zoom. Right here. So we can see a curve here, but the roller, it should be a corner, 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 corner. So 4 corners. It's just the drawing's really bad and messy. So bad. Uh, wait. So take this one out, take that one out, take that one out, take that one out, take that one out. So in total, you should have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7 fillets. Nice. hmm Nice. Check mark. Right. So now we have our we have our section that we want to revolve. Got our revolve line. So now we go to features, revolve, and automatically it should select everything again, right? But let's say I don't want it to select everything yet. Everything's not selected yet. So let's say I select my contour region. Boom. That's the revolution. That center line I drew. Nice. Check mark. Nice. And now it's revolve, right? So now we're going to draw the holes, right? We're going to do the 5 pattern hole, and we're going to use a linear sketch pattern to do it. So for this one, when you guys see BC, what does BC mean? BC means bolt circle. So bolt circle is used for when you have holes or if you have screws and it's supposed to lie on the circle, you call it a bolt circle, and it is a construction line always because only to show placement, right? It's not a real sketch, not a real body that actually exists. So we're going to draw this as a construction circle, 0.175 diameter, and we know that this hole is going to be vertical in line with our origin on this point. Then we're going to just draw this one circle, then linear pattern it to make it 5. So again, we're going to sketch on this face, and this is kind of weird. I don't like how it looks. It's trippy for my eyeballs. So I'm going to make it this view, right? Now, draw a circle, bop. Okay, so up to you. We can draw center lines or we can just make it linear origin, but I'll draw a center line because I like center lines, right? Now we can say that this should be on our center line, coincident. Or if you want, you can hit your point and hit the origin, just make it vertical, right? That works too. And then I'm gonna draw my bullet circle. So I'm gonna draw a circle. Then in my left column, I'm gonna call it for construction. Now it turns into that, right? I'm gonna smart dimension it, and we know it's 1.75. I'm gonna draw that, and now I know that the circle should be coincident to here. So center point, coincident there, perfect. And I know the size of my hole. What is the size of my holes? 0.25 holes, 5 holes equal spacing. 0.250. Cool. Now linear sketch pattern, not linear sketch, but circular sketch pattern. Enter these pattern. Hit the circle I want. Right now, how many instances? 4 instances, right? Boom, I want it 5 along what? A 360 circle? That is what I want, because if I change it to 180, it's only going to cover to 180, but it says equal spacing on a whole circle, right? So 360. Now I know it's blue. It's because technically you can still move them, but it should automatically align. But if we want to lock it in, you see our center point right there, where it's revolving on. All we gotta do, hit that, hit our set origin, coincident, fully defined. Extra cut. Don't want to think through all. Oh yeah, baby. Right? So the only thing to remember is when you look at the drawing, it's rounded in here, right? So what does that mean? That means you have to put a fillet on those edges. So fillet, if it loads, trippy for my eyeballs, so we're gonna change it, right? Bop, 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 bop. Let's change it now. 0.06, not 0.1. And then other side, bop, 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 bop. All right, bye bye. Slay, right? Why does that look funky? Whatever. It's right. It's 0.06, right? Shoot. Double check. Edit my features. Let's double check. Double check our work. 0.06. Nice. Perfect. Okay, are we done yet? No, because remember what we're adding to this one? We are gonna cut out 1/4. So it should look like this, right? Uh, shoot, I have to drag this away. Shoot. I can't grab it. What's happening? What's happening? Oh my God. Whatever. Okay, so what can I do? I can just draw on this face, right? Sketch, draw a rectangle, literally from my origin, because there's a rectangle, right? It's a square, you know, this is gonna be perfect 90. Gonna cut out, just draw as big as you want. Shoot a cut. Don't want to think through all, but go both, right? Because if we look, if I did through all only one, oh shoot, through all only one, it's only cutting that way, right? But I want to go both ways, so I'm just gonna go through all both. Perfect. Or alternatively, what you can do, right? So press this in your revolve, right? Remember how for the revolve we can control how much we want. So instead of 360, we could just go 270 as well. But I want the other corner, so I'm gonna tell it instead of revolving this way first, I want it to go that way first, right? So I'll flip my revolve. Nice. And now, boom, same thing, right? Perfect. I'm gonna keep it that way. Right? Cool. Slay. What did I get? Mass properties. 1.77. And my ISO view? Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Yay. Shoot. Can't put this away. Uh-oh. All right. But yeah, that's how we revolve. I hope that helps. So for number 3, really quickly, number 3, same idea, right? You're gonna draw your center line, draw the general shape you need, dimension it. You're gonna revolve that. Remember, for ribs, all you gotta do is draw your line, hit your rib, and just circular pattern again. If you want to draw all 5, up to you. But quickly, if we no, don't activate. See, right? So we want to look over ribs one more time, super quickly, right? All you gotta do is draw your sketch on the highest plane, and then your ribs will always build into your feature, right? So for this lab, as you can see, this nub is higher than this nub, right? So what you're gonna do, you're gonna draw it on this face, draw your line, rib, make sure it goes straight down into the body, and then fill up your rib all by itself. And remember, ribs are, the thickness are what? 0.2 ribs. That's everything. Good luck in this lab. I expect all of you to get 100% on this week's lab. If you don't, you'll break my heart. Don't break my heart.